Yo, what is up, everybody? Good morning. We're back with another Ycom battle. This one is against Davy 2. Yeah, Davy 2. Pretty interesting name. This is a really interesting battle, and he has a Tapu Koko lead in a Cherish Ball, it looked like. I guess I wonder if there's an event shiny for that. I have my Nihiligo lead. I don't know how to pronounce this Ultra Beast, dude. It's like Nihilism. But we got the electric terrain coming up, which is really interesting and actually like plays a little bit into my moveset because on this set I have Stealth Rock. This is a Stealth Rocker, but it's also like a special attacker with Meteor Beam to raise your special attack, Sludge Wave for the Poison Stab, and then Thunderbolt. So it's really actually kind of in my benefit that this electric terrain is up because it boosts the electric moves. So he went for the Volt Switch, which is I'm like, all right, that's fine with me. I went for Meteor Beam, so no matter what swaps in, it's going to take a big amount of damage. So the Heat Rain comes in, right? Heat Rain is Fire Steel, so it's neutral damage on the Meteor Beam. And Meteor Beam is a really cool move because it's like a two turn move, right? So I have the Power Herb on this set, which instantly lets you use Meteor Beam. So you'll get an instant +1 in special attack, and then you'll do a really hard hitting rock type special move, which is really good because this is like a special attacking Ultra Beast. And then if you get a kill, you get a Beast Boost, and you can kind of get some sweeps, even though this is kind of just a Stealth Rock lead, right? So the electric terrain is up. Normally I wouldn't go for a Thunderbolt on a Heat Rain because it's just neutral damage, but because the terrain is there, it's going to boost my Thunderbolts. I'm like, this is a really good situation for me. I'm just going to go for it. And it takes it out. And I'm like, dude, this is so cool. It just kind of, the terrain is super awesome. Like I have a terrain team, and then like when the other opponent's terrain can like help you. It's just very interesting. So I just dropped that Heat Rain. He's taking a moment what to do. I actually cut out some parts of the video because man, I don't know what DV2 was on. He was just taking forever to make his moves. But yeah, sometimes you got to think about what you're doing, you know. But yeah, this is a really interesting Ultra Beast. I don't really know the hot lore about it. It kind of looks like Lily. It's been forever since I played Sun and Moon. And we got like a chainsaw outside of my apartment, dude. Construction nonstop. I'm going for the Thunderbolt because the terrain is still up. I'm expecting a Sucker Punch and to die, but like I don't want to swap because I already got my +2 in special attack. But I actually outspeed. He doesn't go for the Sucker Punch, and it would have taken it out, but he had a Focus Sash on his epic shiny Bisharp. He goes for the knockoff, and I just barely live that. Like, this thing has no defense. It's a special defensive Ultra Beast, right? And then the Sucker Punch comes in, and that's going to take me out, which kind of sucks because I might have been able to get something going with the Thunderbolt and the electric terrain if he didn't have Sucker Punch. But that's okay that he had the Focus Sash because I have Golisopod, which has First Impression, which is, I think it's like +6 priority or something, and he's on 1 health, so it doesn't really matter. I can just go in First Impression. I was thinking about other things I could potentially do, but I didn't really want to take a Sucker Punch on any of my other Pokemon because Bisharp is a pretty strong physical attacker, right? So I'm just going to come in here, and this is a shiny Golisopod. Dude, the funny story about this shiny, because I was getting a Living Dex for the Shiny Charm, right, and Sword, and I had a Golisopod and I needed a Wimpod for the Living Dex. I bred a single fucking one, full odds, and I got a shiny Wimpod, and I didn't even want to make a Golisopod set, but because I got the shiny, I'm like, alright, let's do it. So that's probably the luckiest shiny I ever had. All this hammering outside, dude. God damn. Yeah, but he's thinking about what to do. So I was like wondering what he was going to come in. He had a few other legendaries, and of course the Tapu Koko came back in. And I'm like, all right, I don't want to really eat an electric move on this Golisopod. Even though this Golisopod has the red card, which that's why he's called the ref, right? You hit him, he holds up his red card if he lives, and you get swapped out. And that way if emergency exit comes in, you get a fresh spawn or like a fresh battle for both players. So it's like normally if you like get sent out with emergency exit, it puts you into disadvantage, but the red card kind of counteracts it. So he's got the fairy types. I'm bringing in my Thorn Noir, the Poison. I got this shiny roserade in Pokemon Go from Rosalia, the community day, right? It was actually my first, like the first or second catch on Pokemon Go. I didn't even know. But yeah, he set up some Reflect, and then he's also going to set up Light Screens. I'm like, this isn't good because a lot of the Mons on my team are indeed special attackers. But I went for the super effective Sludge Bomb on this Fairy Boy, and it just completely one-shots it, even with the Light Screen up. Not even a crit. At first I thought it was a crit. But I'm just guessing Tapu Koko is not that bulky of a Pokemon. And probably the Life Orb helped there too, because it just completely negated that Light Screen damage. But the electric terrain is still up, and this man is taking a really long time to think about what to do. But yeah, How you guys doing today? It's Tuesday, yeah, right? So anyway, here comes the Hawlucha. And this is when I like kind of started wondering if this dude was a hacker, because you might be able to get your nicknames right like that with the stars and the weird font, but at the same time, I don't know how to do that. I haven't seen anyone normal do that. And he's got like all shiny, so I'm getting a little suspicious, but I don't care because I'm kind of winning, but not at the same time. But he had the electric seed, which is really bad because it raises Hawlucha's defense rate, and then also activates his Unburden. So with the Unburden, he's got a +1 in defense, a +1 in speed, right? That's really bad. And he just went for the Swords Dance, maybe expecting a swap or something. But I didn't swap. I wasn't scared of no flying type move. I went for the Dazzling Gleam. And because he has the light screen up, it is not going to take it out. I wonder if maybe with light screen not being there, he maybe would have died. But he's going to go for an +2 acrobatics, and there is no way in hell that roserade is going to live that with its kind of meager defenses, right? It's more of like a special defense thing. So I'm in a really bad situation. I kind of blanked out here, and I went for my Choice Scarf Clawitzer, right, instead of Azumarill with Aqua Jet, which is probably my big mistake. I should have just went for the Aqua Jet, even though it wouldn't have probably taken it out. But I did this because I have Terrain Pulse, and because there's the Electric Terrain up, it would have dropped it instantly. And I'm normally thinking in the Choice Scarf mentality. I think during the battle, I didn't really realize that Hawlucha has Unburden, right? But he's got a bunch of speed. I was kind of hoping he would swap to his other Pokemon. He actually had a Kyogre on his team, and I'm like, dude, it would be the most hilarious play if he swaps to Kyogre, expecting a Water Pulse, and then just eats a Electric Terrain Pulse. But that didn't happen, unfortunately, and he's just going to take out my Clawitzer, which kind of sucks. That Shiny Clawitzer was actually the first Shiny I actually legitimately bred for with a Shiny Charm, which is pretty cool. Got it in under 400 eggs, so that's dope. So I'm like, I really got nothing against this thing. I still, again, forgot about Azumarill, but at the same time, he's still got the light screen and reflect up, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to go for the first impression and just get some damage on this thing, right? Like, it's kind of hard, right? Hawlucha's pretty cool. Around when Gen 6 came out, he was my favorite fighting type. But I feel like Clobbopus and Grapplock are maybe taking that title from me. I don't know. What's your favorite fighting type? But he's going for the Dynamax, which is super awful for me because I was going to do like no damage anyway, right? Because flying fighting is going to super resist this bug move. But now that he's in Dynamax and has a shit ton of health, Galistopod is just not even going to... His first impression is going to be like a feather on this Hawlucha. It's shiny. It's in a Master Ball. It's got the fancy name. Let me get... Do you think it's hacked? I have no idea. You can't breed with Master Balls, which really sucks because I actually wish you kind of could because it'd be really funny because I never used the Master Balls on Legendaries because I always like try and get them in like Luxury Balls or repeat or like just a fancy Pokeball, you know, like Dive Ball, Growl, and shit like that. But like, so I used the Master Ball and like kind of like lame things, right? And then I like because the females pass on the ball. At first I thought you could pass on the Master Ball like to your shinies and stuff, but you can't. You have to straight up use it. Which kind of sucks because you can pass down stuff like the Love Ball and the Level Ball and all that. So I've really got nothing against this. I just have to go for the Aqua Jet. So I'm going to bring in Mick. Mick carried us last battle. This Azumarill set is super exciting. If the terrain was still up, I would have been able to go for a super powerful Steel Roller. But I didn't even go for the Aqua Jet because I know that it wouldn't have killed. He's in Dynamax. And I think the Reflect is still up, or it just went down. Actually, I think it's still up. But I went for the Dynamax mix because he's got a Swords Dance, he's got plus defense, he's got speed, and I got nothing. Like this Hawlucha is just pretty much like walling me at this point. So I'm going for the Max Starfall because I'm thinking about long term, right? The Max move, it sets up the Misty Terrain, which is really good because if I live this, kill it, my next Misty Terrain move will be boosted by the terrain. So potentially I'll be able to get a hard-hitting Max Starfall after this because he still has the Kyogre. And I forget what his last mon was, but I lived the Max Airstream barely. If I didn't Dynamax, I would have most definitely died to that. So I think that was the smart play on my part. Maybe I could have Dynamaxed earlier or done something a little bit differently, but with the Reflect and the light screen up, it was pretty hard to get around this Unburden Hawlucha. So that's definitely a good play on the opponent's part. I'm surprised I did drop the Tapu Koko like so easily though. And again, he was just taking forever to like pick his moves, man. And I'm like, why are you taking forever? But he's got the shiny Kyogre. I respect it, and obviously the drizzle comes in, setting up the rain, which doesn't really matter too much for me because I cannot Aqua Jet, and I would just go for the max Starfall again to get that boosted fairy type damage. He goes for the thunder. I had a suspicion that this Kyogre was Scarf, but it could just be really fast. I need to like compare it to, because my last two Pokemon like Azumarill and Exploud are not that fast, but his Reflect just wore off, and unfortunately he still has the light screen, which sucks because my last Pokemon right is the Exploud. Exploud's my favorite normal type, and especially when I got the Boom Burst buff in Gen 6, even more so. Even though it's still pretty mediocre, I like it. So I tried to fit it onto this team. He's going to swap to Delmise expecting the Boom Burst, but you know what? I grinded for that Scrappy with the Dex Nav and Oris, right? So we got the Boom Burst coming in, doing no damage because of the light screen, which really sucks. But I did get the Throat Spray special attack upgrade. So maybe if that light screen wasn't there, the Boom Burst would have done more damage, and I would have been able to two-shot this this Delmise, right? But unfortunately, this Ice Beam, even though it's super effective and I have the +1, it is not going to kill. Which has me like super suspicious because like, I mean, my Delmise set, right? It's like max defense, max HP, and it dies to like one special move. So I'm like almost certain that this Delmise is plus specially defensive because I feel like it shouldn't have been able to live in Ice Beam. Or maybe because like Exploud has pretty high special attack, and my Delmise be dying to like normal Ice Beam. So I don't know. But it goes down to 3. I took an Anchor Shot, which kind of sucks. But I don't think it would have mattered that much because even if I did two-shot it, he still has the Kyogre, right? And the Kyogre's coming in, and it's probably definitely faster than Exploud. It has an immense amount of special defense. It's got pretty decent HP. Dude, it's a Box Art Legendary, right? So I'm like, I just need to somehow outspeed this. I need to somehow get a critical hit. Like, Boom Burst needs to crit and do a shit ton of damage to this thing. That's like the only way I'm going to win, and I don't even think it's even possible. It was pretty hopeless. So he goes for the Water Spout, and yeah, I'm dead. I did indeed lose this battle, but I think it was pretty entertaining. It had a lot of variety and cool moments compared to some of the other Wycom battles I've had. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe for more battles like this, and in my description, you guys, I got a Pokemon-specific Discord where you can come and battle me and a few other Pokemon fans from my normal Discord. If you want to join my normal Discord too, that is also in the description where we talk about Smash and Mario and all that other stuff. So I'll see you guys around.